Yep. Incidentally, it's our anniversary edition. It has been a year since we took Big B Meetup to the virtual world and thereby to a global platform. I'm extremely pleased to re-host our first guests, Varda and Vishnu. You might not be able to see Vishnu, but if any of y'all have seen the Hindi movie Mr. India, he's playing that role right now for us. He's there in spirit and in yogic powers, but he's not there. You cannot see him, but he will be there. We never give up at Big B Meetup, do we? So welcome, Varda, and welcome, Vishnu, and welcome everybody else. Varda, you want to say something?
Thank you, Bosco, for inviting me for your anniversary special.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you again as a guest. I'd like to actually, since it's Ramadan, I'd like to play our Ramadan, a special Ramadan compilation we've done in different languages.
Lovely.
And give me a second. I'll have to do this politely. Get us off the and that is our Ramadan wishes from different people. I hope you enjoyed that. Coming back to Varda and Vishnu. Welcome back, guys. So, Varda, could you introduce yourself and what you do with at Wahab Food Heroes to our wonderful audience here?
Sure. So I am an electronics engineer turned entrepreneur and the founder of Wahab, an award-winning company to address food waste in Qatar. So it's estimated that the average inhabitant in Qatar sends up 250 kilograms of food waste into landfills every year. And this is what Wahab is here to change, to offer solutions to reduce, reuse, and recycle your food waste. So when it comes to the topic of reducing food waste, we raise awareness regarding the impacts of food waste and suggest ways on how to reduce it. So we go into schools, universities, food outlets, events to talk about these issues and bring that awareness. And on reusing surplus food, so we collect surplus food from events, from food and beverage outlets. We pack them and redistribute to people in need. And we have a huge team of 150 volunteers from different ethnicities, backgrounds, and cultures who have helped us redistribute more than 500 tons of surplus food to people in need, alhamdulillah. And we also offer solutions to recycle food waste, inedible food, so that it is prevented from being sent into landfills. Because as of now, it is estimated that 1.4 million tons of food waste ends up in landfills every year. So, so we would like to obviously cut into that and reduce the amount of food waste that goes into landfills.
That's wonderful, great. Uh, and can you give us, when did Wahab actually start? When did Wahab Food? I know I'm a dormant member of the team since 2017. But when did Wahab Food Heroes actually start?
So we started in 2017, and we soft launched during Qatar International Food Festival 2017. So we wanted to see the reaction of the food outlets, whether they are ready to redistribute their surplus food. We wanted to see the reaction from the people, from the community, whether they would be ready to
Okay.
redistribute. They would help us redistribute the surplus food. So Alhamdulillah, we were soft launched during 2017 for the International Food Festival 2017, and
Oh,
we were official partners with Qatar International Food Festival 2018 and 2019. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. In fact, Alhamdulillah, we have Vishnu with us.
Hi, Victor.
Yeah,
Hi.
it's so nice to have Vishnu. Vishnu has been a calming factor for me all during COVID and quarantine. I want to say this here, it's been on my guilty conscience. Sometimes I just play I log into Vishnu's free yoga, daily yoga, and I don't do the yoga. I just look at his face and I enjoy it. It calms me. I enjoy his yoga. So my wife tells me, you know what? Because she's a yoga practitioner, she's a couple of levels much more higher than me. So she's saying, that's not, what are you doing? I said, no, he has yoga for different standards, old people, young people, everybody. So hats off to you, Vishnu. And I'm so proud to have both of you all on the show once again. Big B Meetup is all about bringing communities together. And I'm really happy it's been 1 year. Our 43rd episode has been the first year anniversary of it. And Vishnu has the distinction of being on the first physical Big B meetup, because people really didn't know that Big B meetup started in 2018, uh, after Wahab Food Heroes started. Yeah. And Vishnu was one of the first speakers. He was at the first event because I've been watching Vishnu since 2017. And I said, I want this guy on my program. So, Vishnu, I'd like you to reintroduce yourself to the new. We have new people watching our show, and last time I don't think you spoke much about your book. So I've had so many people on the show, and many of them have been authors. They've produced their own book, and of course, they've promoted it also. So I'd like you to talk about your beautiful book, which somebody has just shared on Insta stories, and you've done it recently. So you got a lot to talk about, and hopefully this time we don't lose you.
Okay. So first of all, congratulations to Mr. Bosco for bringing community together past many years
Thank
and
you.
bringing great people and creating a great community. So I'm very much pleasure to join with Mr. Bosco from the first Big B meetup physical event, and also the
Yeah.
virtual event was I'm the first one.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad to be his show, and I always admire him for the love and compassion towards people and bringing connecting people together, something for a good cause. This is the thing.
Th- Thank
And
you.
very nice to meet also Ms. Wahab, and for your great works. I always follow that, and this really inspires me. And I always talk about also wherever I talk about Big B, Wahab, Wahab also comes there. The and also of course I met also the people in the Big B meetup, so I know personally the people there as well. So it was a great work you're doing. So really admire and respect, and really truly loves from the heart. So it's a really inspiration truly inspiration.
Thank you.
Yes.
And today, I promised myself today, Vishnu, I will not ask you to give us any asanas because I believe you are chock a block. You are actually having classes from the morning, and then and then suddenly you have people asking you what time is the yoga, and then you have to give them the timing. They can't Google, but
Yes.
you don't lose your temper. I think that is a yogic quality, right? You never lose your temper.
No. It's also good for yoga, good for family life, both.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Good
Uh,
for my wife too.
yeah. Talking of giving back to society, I have we have two. I mean, I have chosen two of our super fans. Who have uh, who have been watching Big B Meetup since day one.
Okay.
I mean, and I'd like to invite two of them. One's already waiting here, all the way from Toronto. This is Claros Mascarenas, and I'm just going to have her on the show in a minute, in a second. And she wants to say a few words. Hello, Claros.
Hello, hi, Vardha and Vishnu and Big B. I really enjoy your show. This is my daughter. We all watch, and my son-in-law. We watch you. We're big fans. We're all big fans of Big B, and we like watching you because you always have something for each one of us. And I like the way you connect people together, and you're very passionate about what you do, and that's the beauty about it. And so thank you for inviting us to your Big B, and listen to all your beautiful um, you know what is that, the words, no, but also their the I can't even get the message is very positive. The
That's
message is
okay.
very positive,
Yeah, that's
very
lovely. How is it out
uplifting
there?
too.
Yeah,
That's
lovely.
my son-in-law and my daughter.
That's nice. How is it out there in Toronto, in Hamilton?
Hamilton, it's a little bit cool, but spring is out and the flowers are all coming out, so everything is in bloom. So it's
And is it
exciting
another
time.
lockdown there? We have a lockdown in Doha.
We do have a lockdown right now, and yeah.
And I'd like,
So,
Vishnu has many fans and followers even in Toronto. So the timing is such that he starts the daily free yoga session is at 7:30 daily. So that's a good time for you all. I think it's afternoon for Toronto.
mhm.
So you
It
guys
is
should,
we doing
pardon?
an immunity session past last year we done.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Claros, would you like to talk about how do you segregate your garbage? That's something I knew about you, and that's something
Mhm.
that Wahhabi stands for.
Here we have like 5 different bins. So we put our what do you call it? Our glass, the glass cans are in one side, the glass is in one side, the cardboard is on one side, and the what is that, paper, newspapers on one side. So we are very,
Yeah.
and then we also compost. We also have a big green bin where we compost. So when it's a garbage day once a week, we do that. But in the
Oh, lovely.
schools, I reuse, like I've learned it from you, Bosco, in one of your shows in sustainability. I learned, how you use the bottle to do some artwork on it.
Yes, yes.
So I did that. I collected all my husband's coffee. He has coffee. So collected all the empty bottles, washed it, and I made a stained glass with it.
Oh,
So
lovely.
thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you
I,
so
I
much.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in every time and supporting us.
Yes.
I'll let you go now because I have the
Yes.
next super fan, which is Elizabeth. I'll be waiting for her
Congratulations
next.
again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for inviting me. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, back to Doha. Yeah, and we will wait for Elizabeth to come on board. She's a lovely person, and I like the way we connected Wardah to Elizabeth and the American Women's Association, and I believe you'll had a fantastic meeting, and you also were a guest on their program.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
So, yeah, so we talked about food waste and composting and how everybody can contribute to reducing their food waste, right? Because
Yeah.
the thing is that not all of us can afford to have solar panels on the top of our roofs. or buy electric cars, but all of us can contribute to reducing our food waste, right? And
True.
this makes us contribute to sustainability and to the community as well.
Yeah, wow. And here yeah, you're right, absolutely right. And here we have Elizabeth with us. I love her hairdo. It's fantastic. How are you doing, Elizabeth?
Hi, good evening, Bosco. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Ramadan Kareem to you.
Thank you. Thank
How
you.
was iftar?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Great, great. So, Elizabeth, would you like to would you have do you have any good or bad words to talk about Big B Meetup? Since I've chosen you as one of the top fans of ours, you've been promoting Big B Meetup, and you've been tuning in almost every show. Thank you so much for your support, Elizabeth.
Well, absolutely. Well, Bosco, thank you. And I love your enthusiasm and positive attitude and what you have done for the community to bring everyone together. I really enjoyed learning about the community and meeting so many amazing people, just like Wardah and Vishnu. We've all been able to connect and really find some positivity in this pandemic.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna do something. I mean, I'm gonna do something here, Elizabeth. I'm putting you on the spot here. I'm planning way ahead, and for the 4th of July this time, I'd like to officially host you. And if you can swing by and get in your ambassador as well, yeah, let's see how that goes.
Okay, well, I will certainly work on that.
Yeah, because the last year we had the former ambassador and his wife, Diana and Chase Untermeyer. And this year, I think we should have the present ambassador and the present president of the American Women's Association. Who, incidentally, I like I like what the inclusivity of the American Women's Association, where you are open for all nationalities, right, Elizabeth?
Yes, thank you, Bosco. We are open to all ladies that live in Qatar. We have a very diverse group of ladies. And if anyone likes more information, they can go to our Instagram account. It's AWA_Qatar, and you can see all of our fabulous events that we've been able to host this year, obviously with the MOPH guidelines.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and
Thank you.
thank you for tuning in, and continue to tune in, please. And we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, Bosco.
Have a lovely Ramadan.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, guys, it is. I'm really pleased with the first anniversary session, and I'm really pleased to see Vishnu and Wahab. I'm saying Wardah. So, what has changed since the last lockdown, Wardah? What do you? I mean, I have the question for both of you all. I'm just asking you first, Wardah.
Well, I think the lockdown has changed our priorities, right? Because we understand how important family is, our connections with people, right? We have set our priorities right, and it has brought the community together. Because with the last lockdown, we had a lot of people that were in need. They were desperate, right? There were people who came from countries for work, and they didn't have any work, right, because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
It was great to see the community spirit about how people got together and contributed to their well-being. So that's something that Qatar is really, really proud of. And also, I believe that with COVID, we have kind of reduced our food waste. When it comes to Wahab, I feel that
Yeah.
people have cut down on their food waste because they understand that this is not sustainable, right? Wasting so much of food is not sustainable. It's not the right thing to do. And it doesn't bring any profits as well, right? It's, if you reduce by, by reducing your food waste, it's a win-win for all situations, and it increases your profits as well. So it's money down the drain. So people have started realizing it, which is a great thing.
Yeah, very true. Varda, I have a question for you about the iftar meals. Last year you all never gave up, or we never gave up. I'm part of Wahab, okay? So how did you all, how many meals did you distribute roughly last year, and how did you go about it last year? And what are you doing this year for the Ramadan iftar meals? How are you distributing them?
Yes, so when COVID struck, we were like we usually do Ramadan iftar distribution and food kits, like kindness kits, to
Yeah,
people. And what happened is that with the lockdown, people were afraid, but we ensured that our volunteers had a training with Qatar Red Crescent, so that
yeah.
to make sure that the safety of our volunteers as well as the beneficiaries is guaranteed. And we encouraged the volunteers, and they went out there with no contact, social distancing, and they distributed a lot of food, alhamdulillah. So if you look at numbers, we distributed more than 3,000 meals, alhamdulillah, and
Wow.
we distributed 300 kits. So each kit has a bag of flour, 5 kg of rice, sugar, oil, and all that. So we gave that to families. So Alhamdulillah, that has been, it was really good to see that community spirit. And with the lockdown this year, partial lockdown this year as well,
Yeah.
we have come together to redistribute, to distribute food and reach out to those in need, right? Because food is something that connects hearts, right? It's not just about filling your stomach, but it's also
Yeah.
about filling your hearts. It brings people together, right? So
True.
we want to ensure that even in lockdown, people don't feel isolated, they don't feel lonely, but they understand that there is somebody to acknowledge them, to value them, to take care of them. And the Qatar community has been really, really welcoming, really good with regard to reaching out to the community. Alhamdulillah.
Very true. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Let me move on to Vishnu. I have been wanting to ask him this question for some time, and and I know his answer will be a little vague because he's not the one for accolades and big awards and everything. But Vishnu, do you remember? Can you remember how many episodes of free yoga you dished out last year? And now again you
Last
started doing that.
last year we done 200 days non-stop.
200, yeah.
200 days
Fantastic.
non-stop. Yeah, it's
You know,
almost
it,
like close to 6 months. Yeah, non-stop we done.
yeah.
And this
And
year actually we didn't wait for to start 2021. We start from December.
yes, yeah, I saw that because of Vishnu, I got to know there's lockdown started again in other countries. Because he's saying, "I'm praying for Italy. I'm praying for this country." I'm like, "Oh my God, really?" Because I'm not. I stopped reading the newspaper, which is a bad thing. But I
Because
only read.
it started, yeah, it started
Yeah,
other countries. When they started, they start direct messaging me. That's the reason I started. In Qatar, we more restriction came 2 weeks ago, but our immunity session, this is the reason we started from December, because other countries having going through all this restriction. That's why.
yeah. So it's really nice. So that's 200 episodes. And how have you been coping? I mean, I want to ask you because you helped everybody else cope with COVID, with the immunity, raise your immunity sessions. How have you been coping with COVID?
It's the same. It's same. I take care of myself, wash my hands, wear the mask at the same time. Take care. It's not only about the immunity, because the normally we don't do any yoga pose in the in the
Yeah,
session. It's mostly about the breathing technique. Especially people
absolutely.
who is affecting with COVID, they struggle with the breathing, and they use a
Yeah,
ventilator. They use a mask, the oxygen mask, and it will be difficult for breathing. So this is a kind of a preparation also. It cleansing and making your lungs and diaphragm ready in case if you get, you will survive without mask, without ventilator, without oxygen mask. You will be fine to
yeah,
breathe. One, and second is, of course, it strengthens your immunity. It balances your hormonal level. And third is detoxify the body. The more your body is detoxify, you feel more good mentally and physically. You feel in a good state. And also is it will reduce it will also reduce the stress, anxiety, especially during COVID. People are very much worried about the future than the past,
yeah,
because they are worried about their job, how they're going to survive, how they're going to feed their family. This is one big thing is people facing. So it helped mentally and physically at the same time. So this is the same thing I follow also. So I do my breathing. My family also join in my online classes. It's a breathing technique, because I just do breathing because it's mainly to cleanse your respiratory system, because the COVID
yeah,
is the even I heard the new variant is directly affecting the respiratory system. So
Yeah.
there is a South African variant. Now I heard there is an Indian variant also. So
Yes.
it is keep coming. So only thing is we can take care ourselves and to strengthen our lungs and diaphragm. And this is the main thing we focusing on breathing. And second reason, I want all the age group to practice, especially elder people. They cannot do all the poses and everything.
Yeah.
But this breathing technique, they can sit comfortably in the sofa. They can do it, and it's just breathing. It's like an exercise for your lungs. So
Very true.
it will really helps. Yeah, yeah.
And Vishnu,
This is the same. Yeah.
yeah, Vishnu, you how many times can somebody do that? Like for example, people who are not working or sitting at home and they want to do the yoga, like senior citizens, can they do it more than once?
Yeah, like they can do morning and evening. It will be fine. Yeah,
Okay,
they can do it.
great.
Yeah, they can do it.
So
Yes, they
these are
can
questions.
definitely do. Actually, they are the one should start doing it more because it's mostly they are in the risk zone. So actually, they
Yeah,
should more do it. Especially people who have asthma, like breathing issues, short breathing problems. People run a little bit and then difficult to breathe. These all
yeah,
things, the lungs capacity is smaller. So
very
especially
true.
this virus is affecting the respiratory system, then it's slowly moving to the kidney areas. So it's to make internally strong. This is one reason. Yes, this is why we focus mainly on the breathing because to take care of your respiratory system.
Yeah, Vishnu, this is what I had planned last year, and I want to say it now. Is I wanted to connect I was going to do a virtual yoga session, and I want even Vardha's opinion here. I wanted to connect with MOPH, and
Okay.
Vishnu should do one session for MOPH where we can connect with all the hospitals and people who want to tune in because it's so
Okay.
helpful. It's
Sure. Sure. Sure.
I'm telling you, even just looking at Vishnu sitting in his yoga pose and doing those sessions, I feel calm. I feel and it's all mental. Sometimes you
Yeah.
can win a battle just mentally.
Now
So
what
just
now what happening is people are at least one person, no, 2 or 3 person is tested positive or
yes,
in quarantine. So they are once they are fine, recover, they are informing their friends, okay, go and do it, and they're referring to the other friend, go and do it, because people who is in at least one person, no, like 2 3 people who is in quarantine or tested positive, and now once they recover, they also informing the other person, okay, you start do this. So this is also going on like this. Yeah.
yeah, very true, very true.
And
And
most
I
of the
believe
people who join also people who is in quarantine or tested positive, because they are too much worried about their future. They're worried very much in anxiety, they're scared, they're so much scared, so they feel bit relaxed and they feel a hope and they feel calm and relaxed. Yeah.
yeah,
So this is one thing happening.
very true. Because last year I like the way you did the yoga on the helipad, and
Yeah.
even at Doha Festival. No, at sorry, Qatar Foundation.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Sheraton. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Sheraton is your home.
Yeah. Sheraton is like my home. Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice. Varda, I would like you to give us some information about how does food waste contribute to climate change. I know it's a question out of the blue, but I've seen a lot about this happening. Food waste and climate change. Would you like to delve a little bit about it?
Sure. So when people hear the word sustainability, they think about plastic pollution. They think about regarding plastic. A lot of Okay. So they think a lot about fossil fuels, their dependence on fossil fuels, and all that. But very few people understand that food waste contributes to climate change. In fact, Project Drawdown, there are experts on climate change. They state that the single greatest solution to reversing climate change is to reduce our food waste. So if we reduce our food waste, we can prevent more than 70 billion tons of greenhouse gases being emitted into the atmosphere. So this is something that needs to be put out. There needs to be more awareness regarding connecting food waste and climate change. So this is something that more people need to know, because if you ask people how does food waste contribute to climate change, they don't understand how it does. So what happens is that when you throw your food waste into landfills, it releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which contribute to climate change. For example, methane. And on the subject of blue, I would like to ask Bosco, why is your background blue when it's Ramadan and it's supposed to be green?
Yeah, well, I was introduced to a lovely artistic. I pronounce autistic as artistic. So I was introduced to a lovely artistic boy, Salim, when Ahmed, one of our, I mean, no one, Ahmed Al Shahrani was running across Qatar, and he created a world record. So we celebrate 5th of April as World Autism Day, and I was introduced to this lovely Qatari boy, Salim, and I announced that the whole month of April will be in blue to celebrate and promote autism awareness. And you'd also see on the screen there's another logo in blue. That's autismparents.qa. It's a website for promoting and helping, making aware of autistic children and their parents, how they cope, how they yeah, cope would be the word, and also how they promote their kids. Because autistic kids are extremely intelligent. I met Salim just once on the road. I was not even introduced to him, but he's been watching the past two shows of virtual Big B Meetup, and he recognized my face and he says, Bosco,
MashaAllah.
mashallah, and he's 6 years old. And I'm so proud. Next week for Garangao, I'm hosting him and Sabika's daughter Soha on the show.
Looking
Uh,
forward to it.
two
inshallah.
kids, two very intelligent kids will be on the show. Yeah, so that's why it's blue. Yeah, and
Amazing.
and we have the little bit of Ramadan, of course. I do have the Ramadan designs on it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, exactly. So Vishnu, I see. I mean, I don't want to take much of your time. You've been really busy. I know you need some hydration also.
No, it's
What
okay.
is a perfect day? How does Vishnu Prasad, Maestro, Guruji,
No,
spend spend a day? How is your what? Give us a day in the life of Vishnu. What, like you
no,
sleep at 1 in the night, get up at 4 in the morning.
normally get up like 5 o'clock. Then I do my self practice and I do meditation. Then I write certain things. I write. At the moment I'm writing the new book, so I write a little bit.
Oh wow!
Then I wake up my son. I spend just hug him and stay with him for 10 minutes.
Oh sweet.
Just be with him because my job's to wake him up. so so then I'll wake him up, and then my wife will take care of him. The rest, online school and everything. So then I start also with my work. I start with if when before COVID, of course, we start with morning classes. I start at 7 o'clock. My work I start at 7. So then I'll be free around 11 o'clock. Then I'll be start again at 3 p.m. And then I finish at 9 o'clock, like that. That's work
That's
schedule.
that's
So
oh
now it's the
wow.
same, like, only thing is it's now become virtual, but it's the same thing. Now we have a group classes happening through online. We have also private classes happening through online.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, through
Wow.
Zoom classes are happening. Same. Yeah.
Busy person. I've started this new thing on the show for the past 4 or 5 shows where I give the mantle to my guests. So I give Varda and Vishnu an opportunity to host the show. In what I mean is, you can ask a question to either one of us or both of us. Up to you what you want to ask. Uh, so I'd like Varda to take the lead. Varda, you are now the host of Big B Meetup. Be kind, please. You can ask one question to Vishnu and one to me, and then I'll move to Vishnu and he will ask a question to both you and me. So here goes. Varda, you're the
Okay.
host.
All right. Hi, Bosco. Welcome to the show.
Oh wow, thank you.
So, Bosco, what do you feel after completing 1 year anniversary with Big B Meetup? How is your reaction? How do you feel? And what do you think that this 1 year has been with regard to the virtual Big B Meetup?
Oh wow, that's a lovely question. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I would say big quarantine. No, let me start off this way because I got so many things to say. First, I would like to say, in whatever problems you are, never give up. Now, I'm an event specialist, a community events. So as Vishnu was he was there for my event. It was a physical event. Even the last event before quarantine with Mo Althani, Vishnu was present for that show also. So just imagine, Corona starts, and it's all quarantined. And what do you do? So we took the physical Big B meetup to the virtual world. And one of my aims was in 2020 to take Big B meetup to a global platform. We were supposed to have an event in Paris because it was the year of culture of France and Qatar. We had everything planned. We were talking to Pierre Daniel, Maud, his wife, and a couple of other people. And then Corona, we couldn't do anything. So we took it to the virtual world. And here we are having guests from Houston to Argentina to Brazil. So I would say never give up. That's one thing I'd say. And I'm very proud to see the virtual Big B meetup, a very prominent community event in Qatar. And I like the way it's connecting people. For example, yourself with Elizabeth, then having people who are differently abled on the show. Because the Big B meetup is about we have four pillars. One is sustainability, which you're a very integral part of. One is disability, which is people who are differently abled. And one is arts. Yeah, I promote artists of Qatar. And then the fourth one is sports and wellness. And these are all four attributes that are very close to my heart, you see. So that's what's I take stock for the whole year. Yeah, I hope that's a long and precise answer for you.
Wonderful. I mean, I think that's one thing we learned with COVID over the last 1 year, that we shouldn't give up. And there's always, when one door closes, there's always another door that opens, right?
True,
That
true.
we need to remain positive and we need to persevere, right? Because obstacles are always there in our path. It's just about um, finding that commitment and that perseverance to move forward. And that it's only people with passion that can drive forward. So it's a testing factor. Um, so I need to
Yeah,
ask Vishnu, right?
yeah. You can ask Vishnu a question too.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Hi, Vishnu.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Miss Wardah.
Vishnu, I would like to ask regarding your followers during COVID, during the last year, what is the reaction you have seen from them? How have they reacted to COVID, and uh, and the reaction with regard to how they have, so from 1 year, over the last 1 year, how have they coped with COVID and all that?
That means the people, right?
Right, your
Yeah.
followers.
Yeah. In the beginning stage, everybody was very scared and afraid, and gradually the fear, after the peak of the fear, and then the fear is slowly disappearing. Slowly the fear went down, and then again it is coming to the fear level. It's like that. Yeah. The more the fear is less, the more the number of cases has been increased. The more the fear is there, the cases has been less. So it is, the people start taking things casual, not following things, and so it actually affects. So but we cannot sometimes blame. For example, if you take in India, people lives in daily wages.
Mm.
They can stay without work for 6 months, 7 months, but after that, they have to feed their family. So it's not the same situation of here. If in India, like, people sleep even in the street, what with how they eat food. So it is very challenging. So we can't say anything. It is depend on the where you are with your circumstance and situations also.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
And also, like, of course, a lot of people has been lost job, they worried and lives in anxiety, and they worried about how they're going to survive. A lot of business has been affected, like this, all things. Yeah. So yeah, so it is bit very challenging time. People, each one is going through a very challenging time. Each one's
Yeah.
case is different. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And also people, like, like, especially they lost their loved ones because of the COVID. They give to their grandfather and grandmother, and they lost it because of, and they feel guilt because of they passed to someone which is not strong. So these all things are there. Yeah. So it's a very challenging time. It's just a
Yeah,
challenging
very
time for
true.
even whatever, like, sometimes, when we say like it's challenging time, it's difficult, people take it as negative. But the saying a reality is a reality. That is a reality, doesn't make as a negative. That's a fact. you know so
Absolutely.
whatever, it's like we are trying to paint on the ice that saying everything is okay, it's fine, but deep inside everybody knows it's not the reality, it's not the truth. Truth is, we all wishing to go back to the same as before,
Right.
Yeah,
before COVID. We all want to go back, and I hope soon it will happen. We all the prayers in my Ramadan, this Ramadan time is all my prayers also for that. The world will be free from COVID soon.
very
Let's
true.
see.
Vishnu, I had noticed, talking of Ramadan, last year you were fasting. Are you
Yeah,
fasting this year as well?
yeah. Every year I do. Yeah, because
Fantastic.
one thing
Yeah.
is, it's like this. It is also it's a scientific process. It is also help
Yes,
for
yes.
detoxification.
Yeah.
It's a detoxification process actually, because our body takes more energy for digestion and detoxification. So you avoid these two process, digestion and digestion and detoxification. Like, the energy can all the energy go for your regeneration process.
True,
Your
true.
body will repair and regenerate,
Right.
because
Yeah,
less food is there, the toxins also less, because of the body wastage is less. So your body repairing and regeneration process happening in the during the fasting time. So it's a very healthy, because it's a very scientific. So,
Definitely.
and nowadays they give a new name for this called intermediate fasting.
Yes.
yeah, intermittent. Yeah, yeah, intermittent.
It
Yeah,
is actually a copy of the Ramadan fasting. They change the time. That's the only thing. But it's the same process of eliminating toxin from the body. Only first 2-3 days you feel challenged, but after that it goes smooth. And
yeah.
if you do properly, and also during the night, if you drink a lot of water, it's flushed out also toxins very fast, and you feel fresh. Actually, you feel like more energetic. If you do a
Oh,
proper fasting, you feel more energetic actually.
you suggest to drink water at night, is it?
Yeah, at night if you drink, it's not sometimes heavy food when you are in sleep, because the whenever you're having food, your blood is going for your digestion more.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sleeping time, the blood is going here and your body is still working.
Yeah,
Body is working for digestion more, so you cannot have proper good sleep also, it affects your sleep. And it also, this is why one reason also, when you people wake up and they feel angry, they feel mood swings and this all stuff. But if you are soft food and then you sleep, and then you in the break, in the morning time also, morning time you have a heavy food, because you are in action, so it will burn the calories, you need energy. And
yeah,
then during the breakfast, like, you slowly encourage. But yeah, during the fasting breakfast finish, and you have a heavy food, because you have a time, at least 2.5-3 hours you need food to digest. So if you are having a dinner at 7, so you are sleeping at 10-11 is fine, and you wake up at in the morning, you have a next meal is perfectly fine. But if like you eating at 12 o'clock, you sleeping, and your sleep doesn't go properly, and you wake up early morning at 4, and then you're having food, it will be difficult.
yeah,
So, but if you do a proper way with the things, it's absolutely a very healthy way of doing it, and it's really good. It re-energizes you. It's kind of an anti-aging process for the body, because all the energy body use for regeneration and repairing.
yeah. True. Vishnu, is this all in the new
And
book
of
or
course,
you?
God's grace also. Of course, God grace will be there, because whenever you are in this process, your body regeneration happens. The more life force energy also flows, and it's in a yogic way. It stimulates all your chakras. Your energy centers become very active and aligned. And that time you are praying, because there is a lot of prayers, and the prayers are like kind of a meditation, and your brain
Mm,
frequency slow down when you are in a prayer situation. And then normally your brain frequency is 20 to 24 cycles per second. And whenever you're meditating or prayer time, when you truly connect, your brain frequency go down to 10 to 14 cycles per second. And then you are more calm and relaxed, you do a daily activity, and gradually your brain frequency comes up, and again the next prayer time comes, your brain frequency go down. It's a very systematic and scientific way keep you calm, if you do proper
wow,
way. Yeah, it's a,
wow.
it's a very, yeah, of course prophets are like a scientist.
Wow.
Everything
Very,
have a
very
reason they
true.
create.
My God, I'm learning so much today. I'm learning so much today. You learn everything. You learn every day
Because
something new.
I study all different religions and cultures and everything, so I embrace all the things people created. There is everything have a reason behind it.
True. It's very important to embrace.
Yeah, it's like yes.
Very important. Yeah. Fantastic. Vishnu, is this all in your new book or is it in the old book? And can you just tell us about the old book? And if you want to give us any insight into your new book that is coming out, when?
Yeah, already I wrote a book like few years ago called Silence to Stillness. It's about the very simple way. Whenever I write a book, I write it for a common man can understand. I don't go with so much philosophies, because if a auto tuk driver read, he should understand it. So I write always in a very simple language, straightforward, and not too much. So my book also will be like this, because people don't have time to sit and read all these philosophies and all things, because we are in a fast life. So Silence to Stillness is a practical application of meditation. And the same, now the new book is called No One Can Hurt You. No One Can Hurt You
Wow.
is it's actually a conversation between me and one of my teacher. It's because nowadays a lot of gurus are uh, they're like a celebrity kind of style of living.
Yeah.
But the true yogis are in Himalayas. They just look like a beggars. They eat food whenever they're hungry. They go and sit meditate. This is their lifestyle of because they are already connected to the higher consciousness. They don't
Yeah.
come to YouTube channel every day giving speeches. so their because their material life is gone, so they just completely connected. So I with God grace, I got opportunity to have a conversation with such great people. And so actually this book is actually based on a conversation between me and my one of my master. I call as master. So they are not a studio teacher or guru or anything. They're like a real enlightened process beings. So when I face in challenges in my life, I ask questions. Same like big meetup, you asking question, we answer. Same as it's a conversation between me and him. Actually, this book is his thoughts.
Wow.
So I am actually asking question and he answering. I just encapsulated, put it in as a book. Actually, all
Yeah.
credit goes to him. So
When will it be out? When are you publishing the
it's
book? When is the
already
book?
out. It's already out last
Oh,
few months ago. It's on Amazon. If you search it, No One Can Hurt You
no one
by
can hurt
Vishnu
you.
Prasad, you can find it. You can order
Fantastic.
through
So
Amazon.
you're
It's
a regular
Kindle book.
author now.
Yeah, Kindle available and also physical book. You can order through Amazon. It's available.
Fantastic, Vishnu. This
Yeah.
is amazing. I'm very proud of you. Vardha,
This is
now
actually this
when
is
is your book
actually
coming out?
like how to take care your uh, inner self and being like non-violent to your own self.
Ahimsa. Ahimsa.
Ahimsa, non-violence to your own thoughts, your emotions and feelings.
Wow.
So it is a concept, because everybody non-violence means is a physical violence. There is also violence we doing our own self.
Yes, true,
Like
true.
we are torturing ourselves. This is how the stress comes. This is how the anxiety comes.
Fantastic.
When I went through those stages, I asked his guidance. He guide me, and whatever his information he gives me, I use in my life. It worked. I put it as a book, so it other people can use it. That's it.
Very
And
true.
it's a very
Wow.
simple book. As I said, if anybody read, they understand very quick and easy. So there is no philosophy kind of talks and all the kind of things. It's just very straightforward. Yeah,
Short and simple.
Okay.
short and simple. Yeah.
So, Vishnu, can you tell us what time is your daily free yoga session? Doha time?
The immunity session, the breathing session is 7:30 p.m. Qatar time.
7:30 p.m. Qatar time. Okay, fantastic. Great. It was really nice hosting you all both, Vardha and Vishnu. And Vardha, I haven't. Can you just refresh people's memory and let them know how they can contribute to Wahab Food Heroes for the iftar meal distribution? What is the cost, or how do we go about it?
Yeah, before that, I'd like to just add that, uh, when we think of Ramadan, we think about abstinence in food and drink, right?
Yeah.
That's not how the Ramadan is meant to be. It's about enhancing our relationship with God and the people. It's about, the reason why we are asked to abstain from food and drink, like Vishnu said, is so that we have time for self-development, self-growth, and all that. So if you are going about the whole day thinking about what's for iftar or what's for suhoor, then we are missing a great opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to actually cleanse ourselves and detox, not just physically, but also spiritually as well. So that's one thing that I would like to put out, that we should not make Ramadan about food, because it's not meant to be about food. But that said, like I mentioned, food is something that connects communities, and this is why we offer iftar meals and kindness kits. So with regard to iftar meals, it's all there on our Instagram, which is Wahab underscore QA. And so you can donate direct to the restaurant. So each meal is 15 riyal. And once we have enough pledges, we distribute to the community, to the deserved. And we also have kindness kits that are 92 riyal each. So people can go to Lulu bin Mahmood. They can tell the manager that this is for Wahab kindness kits. And once we have enough pledges, we distribute them to the community. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, and I think you all did some distribution this weekend.
We did, yes. We had one last week. We had on Thursday, we had on Friday, and we had today as well. So Alhamdulillah, it's great.
Alhamdulillah, fantastic, great, lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, before I end, I'd like you all to give your message of love and peace to all our audience and to the world watching. Vishnu, could you give us your message of love and peace, please, and then Wardah?
Yep, as she talk about the food, actually, the love, compassion is the food for our own soul. When we give, it's like kind of feeding our own soul. Actually, the true fulfillment comes from selfless contribution to others. That's the only message I have. So the same Varda also, like when she's doing all things, she feels some kind of fulfilling experience. That's why she's doing. Same with Mr. Bosco also, what he's doing with this Big B and contributing everything, because it feeds his soul. It's the same thing what I do, and this is the common factor making all these people who has come to the Big B meetup also connecting together, because all have that same, to feed something, like to feed the soul. It's not just something like you make a money, you work and things, but doing something also for your soul.
Yeah,
It's
very
like kind
true.
of feeding. Yeah, food for the soul.
Food for the soul. That nice one, nice answer. Yeah, that's a nice one. Wardah, what is your food today?
Okay, I will summarize with one quote that I read recently, that we have enough of successful people in this world. We
Hmm.
need more people that are kind-hearted, that are connected with the community, and because we have enough of doctors, not doctors, we have a lot of people who have enough money and success, but we need more people who are kind to others, who understand
Wow.
others'
Yeah,
difficulties and
yeah,
pain.
yeah.
And like Vishnu said, I feel that the virtual Big B meetup is a great community that hosts different people from different categories and areas and brings the community together. So it enhances the community spirit and brings more people who are kind and good-hearted.
Yeah, thank you so much. And before I end, I cannot go without thanking all our community partners over the year, especially I Love Qatar, Qatar Living, Radio Olive, Qatar Red Crescent, who have been we've been partners since day one. Oryx Radio, Education Above All, International School of London, Hamilton International School, Wahab Food Heroes. You know, thank you so much for all your support, and we continue with bringing communities together. And Vishnu, thank you so much for giving us the raise your immunity sessions daily. I promise to start joining you tomorrow.
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
and thank you, Varda. And Varda, please, last year you were very kind enough to send me a lovely iftar meal box. I know I'm not a needy person, but the homemade meal that you sent me was very tasty. I don't know if it was a Kerala dish or Kerala specialty, but I'm open to free food anytime. Please let me know, yeah, where I have to pick it up from.
Always,
Thank you
always.
guys for tuning in to our first anniversary special. And Ramadan Mubarak to you all. And please donate, distribute love and kindness, not just during Ramadan, but every time. Yeah. Take care and ma salama, and see you next week for